Today I'm prepared to make myself just a little bit more unpopular again. Hi guys, it's Teresa. Welcome back to my channel. So, since many of you seem to enjoy my unpopular opinions, I thought it was time to redo the unpopular opinions book tag. I did it for the first and only time at the beginning of 2017, so pretty much exactly 2 years ago. So I think, it's time to do a repeat and answer some questions that people are gonna dislike the shit out of me for. The first question is, what is a popular book or series that you didn't like? Now, there's a lot. The list is endless, but I think in light of recent developments in the end of my 2018 reading, you all know, I think, the book that's coming right now, and it's The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. I don't know why I keep putting myself in situations where I have to talk about this book again because it was so freaking bad. I don't think it's set out to be a bad book. It actually had a pretty good start. It went pretty good for like the first half of it, and then it just it went off the deep end. The second half of the book destroyed the entire experience for me. It let me down so hard. Again, I have like a really long video on this. I don't want to repeat myself, so go check it out. One of the most disappointing books I've ever read, like without a doubt. Truly, big letdown. What is a popular book or series that everybody else seems to hate but you love? Now, I'm confused by this question actually because it says popular book or series, but then everybody hates it. So how does that work? I don't know. I always find this question really difficult to answer because I typically don't like books that everybody hates, because I typically don't read books that everybody seems to hate. But I do have one that I think has actually pretty bad reviews, or that gets a lot of flack for, I don't know why. And that's The Paying Guests by Sarah Waters. I really enjoyed this book. It's pretty long, but it's basically about a woman and her mother, and they're kind of short on money, so they have to take on lodgers to live with them, and this young married couple moves in with them, and the daughter of the house starts a relationship with the wife of the couple. And I really like their story. Like, I was sort of in the moment with them. I was rooting for them the entire way through, and even though it's such a long book, I felt so invested that I kept wanting to read, and I didn't want to put it down. And just throughout the entire thing, I was really just invested. I don't know. I think that's the best thing that you can achieve with a book, like whether you like what's happening or not, as long as you care about everything that's happening, it's going to keep you reading, and it's going to make it a memorable experience. You can also be extremely invested and then be extremely let down in other certain cases that we won't mention again. But in this case, I was really positively surprised by the book, and I actually don't really know why people don't like it. So if you know, let me know. Like, if you didn't like it, or you know why people don't like it, let me know. Question number 3. What is a love triangle in a book or series where the main character ended up with the person you did not want them to end up with? So this is really difficult because I've kind of moved away from reading books with love triangles. This is very YA-centered tag, I know, but I don't think in recent times, I might be remembering wrong, my memory might be off, but I don't remember in recent times reading any books with love triangles. So I'm just gonna go for a disappointing ending to a love story arc in a book, and I'm gonna go with The Dark Day's Deceit by Alison Goodman. I like this book a lot. I love the series as a whole, but the love story aspect of it is just a whole lot of waiting and nothing happening, and then the minute something happens, the book ends. Literally the same, there's 2 pages of them actually being yeah, okay, we like each other, let's be together. And then the book ends. And it's so frustrating. I know nobody really likes to read about couples in love all the time. The most interesting part is always the build-up. It's the will they, won't they. It's the sort of fighting, the back and forth, the forbidden love. That's the exciting part. And so most authors want to keep that up for as long as possible, obviously, and I completely am on board with that. But I still want some sort of payoff. I want something at the end, at least an epilogue or some sort of extended scene or something of them actually being happy together. please, and not just be like, okay, now we're together and the end. Especially since there's so little physicality to a relationship to begin with, which I'm fine with, like, characters not, like, having sex or whatever. That's not even the point. I'm just saying that there weren't even, like, illicit kisses stolen here and there. There wasn't really any tension as much. It was just sort of, they were resigning themselves to, like, well, we can't be together. And then that's it. And the moments where they did sort of kiss or come together were very fleeting and sort of, you know, very teasing, I guess, towards the reader. And I just like wanted more. I wanted more. And so that's, I guess, a disappointing love story for me. Question number 4. What is a popular book genre that you hardly reach for? So I want to answer with a different answer than I did last time so that it's not boring. So I'm going to go with YA thrillers. I think this is actually quite a specific genre. Like, there's a very specific style to YA thrillers, and I've tried a few, and so many of them like are coming out constantly because I think it's a very popular genre for like young adults. I get why. I wish that was had been more of a thing when I was a kid, because I know I would have been obsessed with it. But being an adult and having read a lot of thrillers before, I just can't get into YA thrillers. They're typically very tropey, and it's really, really easy to predict the ending or to, you know, guess who the culprit is. Like, they make it very obvious, and it's not particularly compelling. The setting is typically a high school, which I am drifting away from reading a book set in high school. I am like, you know, that's just not. I graduated high school 7 years ago, so don't, oh my God, I'm old. Basically, this is just not something I can relate to anymore. And I'm, you know, more leaning towards, in general, like in the YA age range, I lean towards reading fantasies because there's still some very good fantasies. I mean, from my perspective, right? Like, I'm not the target audience. They're not written for me, but YA fantasies are really the only thing that I can still enjoy from that age range. Now we come to the question that is responsible for the like to dislike ratio on this last video, and I'm gonna explain that to you in a minute. And the question is, what is a popular or beloved character that you do not like? Now, the last time I did this video, it was titled Hating Ron Weasley, and so and other unpopular opinions. And here's something I didn't know. Ron Weasley has a very dedicated fan base, and I mean very dedicated. Go to that video and just read through the comments that have been left over like the last few weeks. Literally every single one of them includes like, Ron Weasley is our king, and I'm like, okay. This is an area of the internet that I have not had any interaction with before, and it's a little disturbing. But anyway, basically somebody, like a fan account of like Ron Weasley, made a fan edit, like, I don't know, just editing together some clips of him, I guess. And in the beginning, they put a section of my video where I called him an idiot guy. And you can imagine what happened when you call somebody's favorite character, even though it's fictional and not real, and idiot is not even that bad of a word, but when you call somebody's favorite person an idiot guy, like, they lost their minds. I was looking through the comments on Instagram, and people were literally like, who is this girl? She needs to learn, like, a lesson, like, she needs to see this. I was confused because I didn't know fan edits like this were a thing. Like, it was literally just a clip, and then at the beginning was me, and then there was like one headline of like Ron Weasley is like and something negative about Ron Weasley, and then the rest was just clips of him like in the movies. And that was the entire video. Like, it wasn't even an argument. It was just like a clips of Ron Weasley edited together. And I was very confused by that concept, but apparently lots of people were upset with me and came over to that video, like found the video, and left a lot of very funny messages. So I'm not trying to I just wanted to share this funny anecdote with you because I'm still getting comments on that video. It has so many, it has more dislikes than likes now. And I think all of them are just from Ron Weasley supporters. So Yay! Yay me! And here's a tip for the future for you guys. So don't ever aggravate Ron Weasley fan base because they're gonna come for you. Okay, so this time I'm gonna try and be a little bit more careful, I guess, in choosing who to bash in this question. But let's be honest, I don't actually care, and I'm still gonna, you know, bash whoever I want to bash. And because I like to aggravate people, I'm going to talk about more than one character. Can you believe it? It's been 2 years since then, okay? Like, there's a lot of annoying characters have come along since then. Number one would be Cas Brecker from Six of Crows duology. I don't get his, like, appeal. I don't think he's not likable in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think he needs to be necessarily, but he's like this bad boy with a difficult past, and he's like incapable of love or things. I don't know. I just am not on board with that. Like, I hate the brooding, kind of like messed up protagonist trope in general, and it's just not a particularly good iteration of that, I think. So I'm not a fan of him. I'm also not a fan of anybody in A Darker Shade of Magic, especially Layla, but I've come to realize that nobody likes Layla, so I don't think that this counts as an answer for this question. But I also don't like Kel. I don't like anybody. I don't even remember who else there was. This other dude who can also travel. Like, I don't know. I don't like anybody. Hold on, I think I actually just realized who I want to bash in this, and it's, I think her name is Tara, the Jude's twin sister from The Cruel Prince. The worst character ever. So superfluous. She has no point of existing. She has no reason to be in the book. She makes everything worse. She's extremely obnoxious and literally has no point. She does nothing in the story. And hated her. Sorry. Also Cardan, obviously. So if you're a Cardan fan, come for me. I am prepared. If I've survived the Ron Weasley fan base, I will survive the Cardan fan base as well. I always find it hilarious how impassioned people get about characters, and when other people don't like them, like, it's not a real person. And even if it were, not everybody has to like everyone, okay? Okay. Alright, let's move on. Who is a popular author that you can't seem to get into? Difficult to say. Definitely V.E. Schwab. I've said it before. I don't really want to read her books anymore. Who else? Let me think. I also think kind of Jeff Vandermeer falls into this category. I did read Annihilation, the Southern Reach trilogy by him, and I like the first book a lot, but the second and third are pretty bad, and I don't think I like his style of, like, I don't think I like weird fiction in general. I am somebody, I need at least some sort of logic, I need some sort of explanation. It doesn't need to be spelled out completely, but I need there to be a guidance in some sort of a direction of, like, this is what we mean. Otherwise it comes across as kind of lazy. Oh, I couldn't think of a reason why this is happening, so, you know, you just make one up on your own. Like, really? What is a popular book trope that you are tired of seeing? I'm trying to think of one that's not exclusively YA. I think definitely like the male character that's very controlling, that's like drinks a lot and sleeps around a lot, but is very controlling of his wife or girlfriend and doesn't let her do anything. This is very pervasive, especially in domestic thrillers, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, I don't think that we should be discussing domestic violence or anything like that. I think it's very important to discuss these things in media, but at the same time, I wish it would be portrayed in like a little bit more of a complex manner a lot of the times, like not just like this stereotypical guy and stereotypical girl. Like, I love to read more stories like Gone Girl, for example, spoiler alert, where the woman is actually the abusive one, or just in general where the situation is just a little bit more complicated, instead of just saying man is evil and he's like just trying to control the woman for no apparent reason because he's just a dick, and then that's it, you know, and she's just trying to get away from him. Like, if that's the only trope, that's like the only thing to it, I don't think it's really enough, and I'm really tired of reading about it. Next, what is a popular book or series that you have no interest in reading? Definitely the new series by Cassandra Clare. It's not new anymore. I think the third book is coming out this year, or has it already come out? I don't actually know. But that series, nuh-uh. I have thought about it for like a second if I should give it a go, but I don't think so. And then another book, for example, would be Children of Blood and Bone. I actually downloaded the, what's it called? Sample? Like there was a sample on Amazon, like an ebook sample, and I tried reading it. I really couldn't get into it. It seemed, again, like very tropey and just not really my thing. And I've heard that it's not unproblematic either, so I don't know. It's just, I just don't really feel like getting into that whole thing. And finally, what is a movie or TV show adaptation of a book or series that you like more than the book? Again, very difficult. I don't watch that many movies to begin with, and I don't watch that many adaptations just in general, so it's very difficult to answer. All I can say is I didn't like the adaptation of Annihilation, the book I was talking about earlier by Jeff Vandermeer. It was adapted into a movie. First of all, I already thought that it was going to be difficult to adapt because the book kind of throws you in at the deep end. It doesn't give you any information what's going on at all. And a lot of the things that you find out in the movie, you don't find out until like book 2 or 3, I think. And it also just like did not make sense. Like I feel like that aspect bothered me less in the books actually, because especially the first book, it had this mysterious vibe to it. It was doing that whole thing really well. Like you had no idea what's going on, and it kept you on your toes. It was very creepy, like atmospheric, and I really, really liked that. The books also made the relationship between the 4 scientists a lot more complex, and the fact that they were scientists and specifically what they were like specializing in, what science, that was really relevant. For example, the reason the biologist was a biologist, like it very heavily impacted the story. Like she couldn't have been anything else. The story would have gone a different way. Whereas in a movie, that's not really like an element at all. I did like the like visual way that they adapted it. I really like how they portrayed and depicted Area X, but overall, is not a good adaptation. So I guess I answered the opposite of the question again. So, you know, sorry about that, but I don't really have, I should watch more adaptations, I guess, so that I could do a better, could have a better answer for this. But that is it where I'm going to end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't hate me if I hated on something that you like. Like, can we agree on having different opinions? I mean, I don't know why I'm talking to you guys. I'm assuming most of you are very sensible people and not like 13-year-olds obsessed with Rupert Grint or Ronald Weasley. But, you know, you never know. Anything can happen. I can't stop laughing about it. I think it's so hilarious. And I texted it to a friend of mine. She was like, you have proper haters now. This is great. Like, you're finally internet famous. I was like, yeah, well, this is a dubious honor, but, you know, I'll take it, I guess. Please give this video a thumbs up in case somebody else is gonna download the shit out of it. And subscribe to my channel. I upload every Tuesday, Friday, and mostly Sundays, if I can keep up with it. We'll see. I hope to see you very soon with another video. Until then, have a lovely week. Bye!